Hello and welcome to our video series on SMF, or Simple Machines Forum, whichever you prefer. This is the end result of this video and the next video, video 3, which is going to be the manual installation version. This one is the simple installation video, and in both cases we're going to end up with this as the result as soon as we're done installing. Anyway, as we get to the installation process, there's going to be a spot in the simple install where it's going to ask for the site name. This is what it will result in right here. If you just kind of leave it as it is. But we'll go through that here in just a second. Another thing I want to point out too is if we scroll to the bottom here, this is the simple install version, which according to my web hosting company is 1.1.7. That's the latest version. In fact, the latest version is 1.1.8, I believe, or 1.8. Anyway, it's got an 8 in there, not a 7. What we're going to do is we're also going to cover the manual installation, because in the event you want the latest version that is not available to you through the Fantastico or through the web hosting cPanel control panel version, then through the manual installation you'll be able to download and install whatever version you want. And I suggest the most recent stable version. However, that being said, whenever we do our manual installation video, I'm going to go ahead and go with the unstable version. I know that sounds kind of quirky, but the latest version that is unstable, it's beyond the beta stage, but it is not yet ready for release to the public. It's in the RC stage, as they call it. So we're going to go ahead, and that's version 2.0. And that version is the version that the company here, Simple Machines, that's the version that they are currently using on their site. So I figure if it's good enough for them, it'll be good enough for us. In either case, so you'll be able to adopt the simple installation or the quick, easy installation through your Fantastical that we're going to cover in this video, and the manual installation that we'll cover in the next video. Between the two, you're going to be able to pick and choose whichever version you want and do with it as you see fit. So that being said, let's go ahead. Oh, and one other thing too, as far as the location of our forum install, you've got plenty of choices. If the name of your website is Joe's Forum, for example, chances are pretty good you're going to just install it on your main domain. If it is, say, joesgardeningtools.com, then you may not want to install it on your direct domain. You would have a subdirectory, as we have here. For example, my demonstration site /forum. Because I've got, say, products on my demonstrationsite.com, and I want to allow my visitors or the members to my site to have a forum or a discussion place, if you will, either towards me or for me or to me or amongst themselves. And that will be done in a subdirectory. Now then, again, it's totally up to you. You name these yourself, and we'll get into that here in just a second whenever we get to the install. If you wanted to have multiple forums on your one domain, there is no limit. The only limit is the amount of space allotted to you through your web hosting company. So that being said, let's jump on into our installation, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this one here as it is right now, and then we'll just reinstall it. Let's go ahead and do that now. Actually, we can do that right here in our cPanel. Now, for us to do the simple installation, you're going to need the cPanel version of a control panel 99% of the time. And if you do not have cPanel as your control panel, you may want to check into a web hosting company that offers this. I'm not knocking those that do not. There's some great services out there that do not offer cPanel. They have a different type of control panel, but once I got a taste of what cPanel can do, I'm hooked and I ain't going back. Now, your cPanel may look a little differently than mine. You might have a different skin or a theme involved, but the basics are the same. So what we want to do is, once you've logged in to your cPanel, it's usually down at the bottom of the page. What we're looking for is the blue smiley face. Fantastico is what we're looking for. And yours may not say Deluxe, or it may say Deluxe, may say something else. But basically, it's the Fantastico part of your cPanel we're looking for, usually shown to you as a blue smiley face. So let's click on this. Take us to our Fantastico page. and you can see over here on the left column all kinds of goodies. If you've not been to Fantastical before and you've got it available, shame on you. Get over there right now. Well, after the video is done, get on over there and check these out. You got a lot of goodies awaiting you. So let's go to SMF under the discussion boards, and it will show you or show us the one that is currently installed. You can visit the site, or we're going to remove it. We're going to remove it. And it'll ask you a couple of questions here. Are you sure you want to do this? Because you can't undo it later. And let's go ahead and remove it. And let's go back. So now we're starting off with a clean slate. See, current installations, none. And this again is the latest version according to my web hosting company, but I know otherwise. If we go here, this is the company in question, then it will tell us. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and head there now, because it'll open up in a different tab here. Let's see if we got the download page available. Here we go. Head on over to the download page and see what we've got available for the, yep, it's 1.1.8 is the latest. And we'll go into all this in greater detail in the next video when we get to the manual installation. And this is the 2.0 RC1. That's when we're going to be downloading for our manual install. So, okay, so that's the site there. And we'll be making several stops here throughout the course of this video series, so don't worry about it. We'll be back. So let's head on back here to Fantastico and new install. Left click. And we're going to install it on this domain only. We're going to have it in a separate subdirectory named forum, just as we had before. Now, my suggestion would be, just to kind of keep things organized, would be to have a folder on your computer for every domain name that you have. And inside of that folder is where you would keep things, for example, like your login information for your forums, your blogs, your FTP sites, and so on. And this one would be no different. Now, I'm not going to do that because I've already got it done, but inside that folder you would have something that would, in this example, have the admin access for your forum. In this case, it would be admin. Now, if you're going to try to thwart the thieves and the hackers out there, one easier way to do that would be to have something other than a default, because 99% of the folks out there that have a blog or a forum has their username is admin. So, you know, if you want to kind of change the scope of things a little bit, by all means change it. Put your name in there instead, or put Joe Don Baker or whatever. Just put something in there other than admin. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you're trying to hide Fort Knox in your forum, then it might be something to be concerned with. Typically, though, people aren't going to try to break into your forums, typically. And then as far as a password, you definitely do not want to put something in here like password. That would be too easy to guess. You want to make this as difficult as possible. And I think that just goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. And as far as the site name, this is where I had pointed out to you earlier in the top left corner of our forum that I had shown you. So if we just nix that, get rid of that, and you want to maybe tidy this up a tad bit, because this is just coming off with default. There we go. And then the admin full name is where I put my name. And as far as the email address, chances are pretty good the email address that pops up here whenever you first go to install this is one that you have not yet made. It's just something that, as a default, that Fantastical tosses in here. So pay attention to this. Otherwise, you're going to just go through the motions, go, okay, cool, yeah, that's a nice email address, I'll go with that. But if you do not actually create this email address, it does not exist. So if somebody wants to send the administrator, you, an email complaining or telling you what a great forum you have, down the line, and they send it to the email address that was in here as a default, and you yourself did not actually create that email address, then you're never going to know about the email that they sent you, because this does not exist and their email is floating around in cyberspace somewhere. So change this. And what I would do is, if you do not have an email address set aside for all of your forums or all of your blogs, or one for each individual site, then do so either through your cPanel, which is the main thing I would suggest, or for the sake of this video, and only for this video, I'm going to put in a Gmail account. That's a Google email account, and that will be my demonstration site at gmail.com. Well, you would have thought I've done this before. And then choose your preferred language. And since they do not have Pig Latin available, I'm just going to stick with English, and then click on Install. And believe it or not, that's just about it. And this gives you, of course, we're at step 2 of 3, and this kind of tells you all this other stuff here, blah, 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 blah. This is where the URL is for our site, and then click on Finish Installation, and you are done. It is installed. Now then, if you want, like I had mentioned earlier about the folder for organizational purposes, keeping all your goodies there, you can in fact put an email address in here and send all of that login stuff that I was talking about to that one particular email address. And then say, for example, you wanted to access that login info because you forgot it, you can get it all from your email account wherever that might be. Now then, let us head on over to our form and check it out. And I believe this is it. Yep. As you can see here, we've changed that from what it was as the default with the .com and all that stuff on there, and tidied it up with the capital letters and all that. And this is it, folks. And if we scroll down here to the bottom, we can see that we are at version 1.1.7, and that is our simple installation for Simple Machines Forum, otherwise known as SMF. Thank you very much for checking out the video. Now stay tuned, because the next video is going to cover a few more steps. Basically, the end result will be pretty much the same, only it's going to be a different version. It'll be either the 1.1.8 or the 2.0. I'm going to opt for the 2.0 myself. So that is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.